This week, a beloved neighborhood deli is making a comeback in a growing neighborhood. But it's more than just food bringing people together.
Why continue that legacy in this neighborhood?
I think for us, it's just where it all started for our family.
How a local Columbus family is honoring their father's legacy in the place they've always called home. Plus, as Central Ohio builds more housing, rent prices are dropping for the first time in years, even in Columbus. Coming up, what this could mean for your next lease. And as Marysville grows, a nearby firehouse is struggling to keep up. The $4 million plan in motion this week to give first responders the space and the support they need. Central Ohio is booming. We all see it, and we all can certainly feel it. Whether it's traffic, new homes, or even crowded schools, leaders in this region will have to figure out how to embrace 1 million more people in the coming decades. So here's what we uncovered this week in Boomtown. We're kicking off the week with some big headlines. Weapons maker Anduril is getting a $310 million grant from Jobs Ohio for its new site in Pickaway County. The company is making military drones and autonomous aircraft. In return, Anduril is promising the state 4,000 jobs and over $500 million in payroll. Thanks so much for joining us for This Week in Boomtown. I'm Angela Ann. Another big headline this week, data centers in Ohio will now have to pay for nearly all the power they use. Ohio regulators are requiring AEP to create a special tariff forcing tech companies to cover at least 85% of their subscribed energy, even if they use less. That money will be used to build the infrastructure needed to bring electricity to data centers. Now, it's not quite a done deal. The Ohio Manufacturers Association says it may appeal this decision. In Linden, more money for affordable housing. Franklin County Commissioners approved $5 million for Nationwide Children's Hospital and its Healthy Neighborhoods, Healthy Families program. Now, they will continue fixing up homes and building new ones in the Columbus neighborhood just north of downtown.
3, 2, 1. Yay!
And just a few miles west in Franklinton, a ribbon cutting for a new and truly unique affordable housing complex. The vibrant neighborhood just west of downtown Columbus is drawing attention as city leaders push to breathe new life into that area. So this is called Starling Yard, and it has nearly 100 units. The rent ranges from $400 a month to $1,300. And here's what makes this really special. Developers repurposed the former Starling Middle School building, which has been vacant for more than a decade since 2013.
They're not going to just be part of our past. They're part of our present and future. They'll be able to age in place in the neighborhoods of their choice.
More than 30 people have already moved in, and about 60 applications are in the approval process, really highlighting the need for affordable housing here in Central Ohio. Now, it's not just housing that's taking shape in Franklinton. A beloved restaurant that closed more than a decade ago is making a comeback. 10 TV's Kristen McFarland shows us how one family's legacy is helping fuel growth in the neighborhood they've always called home.
Built on tradition, a Franklinton staple is back after 11 years. Milos Deli is making a return. Before there was Milos, there was Tommy's.
I just love the atmosphere. The food's good too. Yeah, the owner Mike always greets me, and we know each other by name.
Year after year, Tommy's Diner has opened both its doors and heart to the neighborhood.
The camaraderie they seem to have, you know, there's a true family atmosphere here.
The diner is named after Tommy Pappas, the patriarch of his family. He died in December, and now his sons and grandchildren are carrying on his legacy.
We really try to connect with our customers. My dad, his kind of superpower was connecting with people, and I think that's something that's kind of carried on with myself and my brother.
That legacy started in Franklinton, and the Pappas family says that's where it'll stay. This time, they're reviving a longtime favorite, Milos Deli. Why continue that legacy in this neighborhood?
I think for us, it's just where it all started for our family, and this community embraced us. You know, when Tommy's first came about in 1989, Franklinton wasn't an area that people would say, you know, let's start a business there, but my parents saw something there, and the community was always behind us.
It may be a new spot, but the heart behind it hasn't changed.
Seeing what it was to what it's becoming, it just feels comfortable to us. It's just, this is home.
The deli is set to open sometime in August on West Town Street. With each plate served, the Pappas family honors Tommy and his love for this neighborhood that embraced them.
He always inspired us growing up with all the things he overcame, but after he passed, you know, I just felt a responsibility to really carry on what he started.
With hopes that Franklinton continues to grow on a foundation of love, family, and tradition.
I hope that it kind of maintains its original character. You know, change is always good, but as long as, you know, you kind of maintain who you are and what the community was built on.
In Franklinton, Kristen McFarland, 10 TV News.
Well, the Pappas family, true visionaries for that side of town. Thank you, Kristen, for sharing their story. We have some exciting news out of downtown Columbus this week. The Whittier Street Bridge has finally reopened, and Columbus Mayor Andrew Ginther says it's now safer for everyone, whether you're walking, biking, or driving.
The Whittier Street Bridge Rehabilitation Project delivers this new structure for travel over the CSX and Norfolk Southern Railroad tracks below it, and a new wide and protected shared use path along the bridge extending to the Scioto Audubon Metro Park entrance.
So this is part of Columbus's larger goal of creating more ways to get around as the city grows. With this reopened bridge, there's also a new 10-foot wide shared use path for cyclists, walkers, and runners.
This $3.3 million investment to construct this new bridge and path represents just one example of the impact made by city bond-funded issued projects. These investments are the lifeblood of our city's transportation system. And as Columbus continues to grow, we must ensure we take care of and invest in our infrastructure.
Mayor Ginther says the new Whittier Bridge would not have happened without bond dollars, and that's why he's urging voters now to approve a $1.9 billion bond package this fall. That money would go toward affordable housing, safety, and city parks. Well, now to some good news for renters this week. For the first time in years, monthly rent is actually going down in several major cities, including Columbus. 10 TV's Colin Dorsey looks at what's behind that drop and how this could save you money on your next lease.
The data put together by real estate company Redfin found that year-over-year rents actually went down in Columbus, but that doesn't mean that they're really cheap. We wanted to find out how much people on average are paying, so we took to the streets. How much do y'all pay in rent?
Our rent monthly is $16.50.
Whiteboard in hand.
Do you happen to rent?
I do.
We wanted people to tell us their rents. They ranged from less than $1,000 to more than $2,000 per month. Redfin says the median rent in Columbus fell by 3.5% to a little more than $1,400. The company's chief economist says it's a nationwide trend as people just aren't moving as much and new apartments are sitting empty. In Columbus, she says after a sharp increase in rent prices last year, the decrease is more of a correction of prices.
I think Columbus is coming off of a higher peak. There was a lot of activity in Columbus, a lot of people moving to Columbus from more expensive East Coast metros that drove up rent. And it took a while for new inventory to come online and for rents to stabilize.
She says this could help the next time you sign a lease. You might be able to negotiate with your landlord or property manager to pay the same rent or maybe even a lower rent. And while rents went down slightly in Columbus, look a little farther to our south. Cincinnati actually increased year over year, an increase of 7.5%. In Columbus, Colin Dorsey, 10 TV News.
Colin, thank you. Just take a look at that beautiful downtown Columbus skyline and all the homes around it. This week, we have some big news for homeowners and those who really want to buy. A citizen-led group is working to get an initiative on the November ballot that would eliminate all property taxes. But Ohio Attorney General Dave Yost is pushing elected leaders to get ahead of this. Now, he wants elected county officials to form a coalition that would reform property taxes in Ohio before that ballot initiative eliminates the system altogether. He says inflationary tax increases are hurting everyone, and in some cases, forcing people out of their homes that they've worked their entire lives to build. People like Sherry Smith. She lives in East Columbus and says her property tax has nearly doubled in the last 10 years. And while she would love to see property tax relief, she believes eliminating them altogether would be a step too far.
And I knew it was going to quite possibly take money away from schools, take money away from the fire department, the police department, teacher. No, that's unacceptable to me.
AG Yost said he believes it is critical that schools, counties, and local governments lead the property tax reform before it is cut. Well, now to Marysville. As the city grows, so does the need for emergency services. But just outside the city, one fire station has been quietly struggling, operating for years out of a building never meant for full-time crews. Well, now that is finally changing. 10 TV's Bryn Caswell shows us how this growing community is helping those who help them.
The living conditions for these firefighters are not good. I went inside and I took a look at them myself. Chief Hawkins says it's time their building gets up to OSHA standards so their firefighters can be rested and prepared to respond to any emergency. Out in the rolling fields of Union County, firefighter Ethan Spiegel says the calls for help don't stop.
This is a growing area, and so things have to change.
The Northwest Fire District covers nearly 140 square miles from the Delaware County line to Logan County.
We're out in the middle of nowhere.
Chief David Hawkins says their current station was built for volunteers, not full-time firefighters who now live here around the clock.
Truly is a miserable way to live. But this is where they sleep at the moment.
Right now, 4 firefighters sleep in one room.
This used to be an office and a storage room.
No privacy, no proper rest.
It doesn't have a stove, so they have to use a microwave or an air fryer.
There's no full kitchen, forcing them to cook outside. It's taking a toll.
We're here 24 hours. You want to make it feel like home. And so when it doesn't feel like that, it kind of adds other stresses to the job, and it doesn't allow you to perform to your best.
The new addition will nearly double the size of the station, building a proper sleeping and living area, full kitchen, and equipment storage.
This will be the front entrance.
A design built to OSHA standards and to meet the needs of a growing community. How will these additions help keep the community safer?
It'll keep our firefighters safe. Like I said, their living conditions are less than ideal.
At Kelly's Kitchen, owner Kelly Primavera says even though her diner is in Richwood, Northwest Fire District helped save her restaurant.
We had a gas leak and they came in right away, and checked it out, found it, and I was back up running like within a day.
Primavera says there's no price on safety after I described their current living conditions.
Sad, because they take care of us, and how are you going to rest like that?
The expansion is nearly $4 million, made possible through USDA.
This is property taxes. This is your property taxes coming back to you. And rural development gets to participate by doing a guaranteed loan, which is a discounted loan, to make sure that it helps the community.
And with new homes, new apartments, and new growth on the horizon, community members know the investment is necessary.
We've got housing developments going on down here, apartment buildings going up, so we're going to need it.
The Northwest Fire District hopes to break ground on their new expansion next month. Reporting in Union County, Bryn Caswell, 10 TV News.
Thank you so much, Bryn. As we close out this week's episode, we leave you with this. Every boomtown in America is checking off the pickleball list. Well, Columbus leaders right there this week celebrated the opening of new courts at Anheuser-Busch Sports Park. That's on the northwest side, right off Olentangy River Road. The courts will feature push-to-play lighting until 11 at night and 2 shaded pavilions. Now serving 001. Looks like fun. We do have stories about Central Ohio's growth every single day, but we also want to hear from you. If you have questions related to what's happening around you, or if there's a boomtown concern you want us to look into, just text us. That number, 614-460-3345. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe to our channel. You can also drop your question right there in the comment section as well. And don't forget, we also have our 10 TV Plus original Welcome to Boomtown, and you'll see how our stories over the past year seek solutions for everyone who live here. Thanks so much for watching This Week in Boomtown. I'm Angela Ann. We'll see you again next week.